Welcome to Yume, Japan. So I've come here today on Saturday to check the fish in the mud pond, but also to give you some more information about our mud pond event and this year's rules, as it were. And so yeah, first things first, let's go and fill up the feeder and take a look at the fish. So this year there are 144 fish in the event, and I think last year there was about 140 fish in the event in total, but 140 fish in the pond in total, of which 125 fish were mud pond event fish. And despite the fact that they've now been in this pond, or 2 or 3 weeks ago we put them in, and they are feeding extremely well, and as you can see, they are putting on really nice bodies. So we've got really pretty much the best part of a month head start compared to last year. Last year was a slow start, and it was really kind of difficult because we got the fish back to our place from the breeders a little bit too late because we were held up on getting hold of the fish, and after which we then had trouble with sleeping sickness and flukes as well. This year we've managed to get hold of the fish earlier, and we've also had a nice easy run of preparing the fish for the mud pond, which frankly it's the way that it should have been the previous year. Let's fill that nicely. There we are. Perfect. So yeah, as you can see, body shape, volume on the fish is really perfect. Conditions really nice. Biggest of the fish in here this year is about 41 cm, and there's a few fish just under the 30 cm mark, but the fish size this year is big, and I think with the earlier start this year that we've got, I'm sure that we will see several fish that are going to be 60 cm plus this year. I'm absolutely sure of it. This is a really good start. So this year things will be slightly different to previous years. Last year we had 125 fish went into this mud pond, and we had, very surprisingly, we had 13 fish that turned out to be male as Nisai, which for us was a huge problem. And what was more of a problem is that these days the trends with breeders and female Tosai have become such that breeders are really kind of steering towards selling fish as unsexed female, selling fish as female but not guaranteed. That's the usual current trend. Now, at the end of the day, this is really kind of one of the effects really of what COVID has had on the whole situation of the koi industry. So it's kind of a sign of changing times really. So fewer and fewer fish now are being guaranteed as female, unless the fish are being charged a premium for in the first place. If the fish is really expensive, then of course there are expectations that are required, as it were, in terms of guarantees. So this year, with the current trends towards female but no guarantee, what we're doing ourselves is, firstly, we've been particularly careful in regards to checking the sex of the fish, both during the course of doing the selections at various breeders, making sure that the fish were deemed as female, but also this year receiving the fish at our place, I very thoroughly checked every fish on arrival to make sure that the fish are indeed female. So this year things are looking really good, and I am confident that everything this year is female. Last year, literally half of those 13 fish that turned out to be male were actually all from one breeder, and that particular breeder did have a hard time last year sexing the fish. This year things have been an awful lot easier, so things are looking really good. But terms of guarantees, what we will be doing this year is, obviously we want people to support this event and to want to be a part of this event. So what we will do off our own back, as it were, is we will guarantee the fish as female. So if it turns out to be male, we won't refund it or directly replace the fish like we have previous years. But what we will do is, if the fish turns out to be female, we will give you free entry into next year's event. That is, of course, if you want to have the fish replaced, as it were. If you like the fish as a male and you want to carry on and receive that fish, that's fine. But if you really want to try again with a replacement fish next year, that is something that you can do free of charge. Now, the other term of guarantee is if fish basically are missing at harvest time, or presumed dead, if you like. So if the fish is missing at harvest time, again, what we will do is not actually refund it, but you'll get free entry into next year's event. So that is basically what we will guarantee, as it were. If the fish loses colour, that part, at the end of the day, fish are fish. They do have risks. Nobody knows the future, so we cannot guarantee colour loss or any other problems with the fish. So it's literally, if the fish is dead, there's a guarantee, or if it's male, there's a guarantee. So it's just those 2 points, as it were. Last year, because of the sleeping sickness, we did have some fish that basically got into bad condition, and consequently 1 or 2 fish were showing some loss of colour in the early stages of going into the mud pond. This year things are looking really good. The fish are looking really robust. Colour and key was looking really strong. So this year I'm quite confident that the fish will fare a lot better through until Nisai and be a better result. So things are looking really good. Now, prizes this year are pretty much the same as last year. We've got a first prize for the winning fish is going to be 300,000 yen. Second prize will be 200,000 yen, and the third prize will be 100,000 yen. What we will also do is have a Nongo Sanke prize. So that will be basically, in this case, Utsuri or Kujaku will be qualifying for that. So the Nongo Sanke prize will be a 50,000 yen prize, and there's 2 bonus prizes. And those 2 bonus prizes are for an additional year of free keeping. So that would be something that I would choose deemed on fish that I think have got a future whereby they are worthy of staying another year. So there'll be 2 fish that can stay for free for a further year. Those fish may be from the winning fish, they may be different fish from the winning fish. So that's going to be an additional prize or bonus prize. There'll be 2 of those if you wish to leave the fish here. If you win that prize and you do wish for the fish to stay here until Sansai, an additional year, that will be free, but it will be at your risk. We can't accept any responsibility for a second year of keeping here. So that's the only stipulation as far as that goes. Now this year we have got the price is going to be based on your current country's exchange rate. So we're looking at 140,000 yen price on the fish, and then it's going to be obviously your local exchange rate, taxes that are applied via your dealer of choice, and then in the autumn shipping fees will be added to that. There may be some quarantine handling fee by your participating dealer, and if it so happens that the fish basically ships in December and maybe you don't want to pick the fish up until perhaps April, May next year, it's quite understandable that the dealer that's participating will need to charge some kind of holding fee for keeping the fish until spring. So I would suggest that you contact your dealer and ask what basically their conditions are as far as keeping the fish until you collect them. So that, I think, pretty much covers everything. So this year, I hope you'll be on board with us with this exciting event, and I hope that you can understand the essence of what we are trying to do here. What we are basically trying to achieve is, a lot of people dream of keeping fish in Japan, and a lot of people feel that it's something that is just financially out of reach. So what we're trying to do with this is to basically make this thing of keeping a fish in a mud pond available to the masses. That does come with compromises, which basically the only way that, or real compromise, is the way that the systems run, whereby you would need to make a list of from 1 until 20 of your favorite fish, and it will be then a lottery draw. So that part is compulsory, if you like. So if you want to enter the event, make that list from your favorite fish through until number 20, and then when we do the draw, the first one that's available will become your fish. And if you wish to add additional fish to your list, you can basically add as many as you want. So if it just so happens that there's 40 or 50 fish that you'd be really happy with, then by all means make a list of 40 or 50 fish. So that would increase your chances of getting a fish. Last year, I would say the vast majority of people got fish that were in their top 10 of their list. It was surprisingly good. I mean, people's taste varies very, very vastly, diversely, in terms of the style of fish that they like. So consequently, everybody's list is very, very different to the next person's. So anyway, I think that pretty much concludes this year. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on board with us this year.